Can you call DeAndre Mr. Clutch from now on?
He did a good job tonight. You know, when he goes to the line in those situations, you know, he's got to be confident. Got to be confident, you know, and do what you do in practice. Obviously, easier said than done, but he was big tonight.
Can you talk about the performance of your team, the way you guys performed, and you know they came back, that you had enough energy and effort to come out with victory?
Yeah, I thought we just did a poor job there in the third quarter. We just let up, you know, took our foot off the gas and got careless. I got careless. It starts with me. I got to do a better job at that. But yeah, I mean, we'll take the win any way we can, and guys stepped up when we needed them to.
We've talked about this before, but the way you guys have been able to play without Chris, surprising, or what have you learned about the team during this time?
We have a lot of really good players. And sometimes guys like Jamal, JJ, DJ, you know, some of these guys don't get the credit they deserve because they're capable. So I think that's what we've learned about our team, that guys are going to step up and accept challenges and rise to the occasion.
Tomorrow they're going to announce all-star reserves. Has DeAndre, in your mind, had an all-star caliber first half of this year?
Yeah, I mean, you know, I don't know what more you want him to do. I mean, he's leading the league in rebounding, you know, an anchor for us defensively, blocking shots, doing all that. But with having that, you know, having said that, there's a lot of guys that deserve to play in the All-Star game. So, you know, I feel like every year there's guys that get snubbed. I mean, last year, you know, Steph Curry, just off the top of my head, I mean, that was a huge one right there. I feel like he deserved it. So, you know, for DJ, yeah, I do think he's had an All-Star year, but by no means does All-Star define, you know, what you do for the season.
Doc talked about tonight and tomorrow night being an extension to your road trip, basically it being a 9-game trip almost. So, how do you feel about how you did tonight? Maybe a little sluggish at times, and you know, would it carry over, making tomorrow night even more difficult?
Yeah, a little sluggish, but you know, glad we got to come home and stay at home for a couple nights. But yeah, I mean, it's a mindset for us now. I think we've played the most road games in the league, or got to be up there if not. So it's just a mindset of going there in a hostile environment, an environment that you're not used to, and taking care of business.
Blake, David Stern retires this week. He was there probably for one of the best moments of your life, I'd imagine, on draft night. What was that moment like for you? And I'd imagine, as a guy who grew up watching the league, he was always part of that dream, right? I mean, him on stage.
Yeah, I mean, watching the draft for as long as I can remember, you know, you see him come out and say his little spiel, and you know, to walk up there and shake his hand and realize what's happening, you know, it's a cool moment. And he's done it. I mean, you look at where the NBA was when he took it over. You know, obviously before I was born, but you know, and where it is today, I think is incredible. So yeah, he's done a lot for the NBA.
What's his relationship like with the players?
I mean, I can only speak for myself. I mean, you wouldn't really call it like a relationship, I guess.
He's the kind of guy who might have said something to you about your purple suit that night, though, right?
Did he?
I
I don't think so. I mean, it wasn't a purple suit. I had a purple shirt on. So, I mean, you know.
What do you
Okay, if it's not a relationship though, then what is kind of the nature of the dealings? I mean, how do players view him? And how do you view him?
He's done an incredible job for the NBA. Like I said earlier, you look at where it was when he started and where it is now.
You're going to repeat the same answer. I guess what I'm asking is it adversarial? Is it an adversarial relationship? Is he somebody, I know he was, you know, in charge of during work stoppage and stuff like that. There were some things that weren't necessarily popular.
I can't speak for anybody else, you know, how they feel about David Stern. I haven't really interacted with him a lot, but I am thankful for what he's done for the NBA.
One more. Chris is obviously a really vocal guy. What's it been like having him on the bench for so long? Is he getting like super antsy? Is he talking even more? What's he?
No, he's been good. You know, I think he's really helping he can do right now, and he's doing it.
JJ, what do you need to do to keep Blake on the court tomorrow night?
Well, we have his back, you know, Blake plays hard. Blake plays really hard, so hopefully we'll match his level of intensity tomorrow.
JJ, I'd like to ask Blake about kind of the relationship. David Stern has got, you know, guys respect him obviously for things he's done, but he's also been the work stoppages. How do you view his legacy as someone who's been affected both positively and negatively, I guess, by?
Well, you know, first of all, in terms of, to answer Blake's, or to kind of add on to what Blake said about a relationship, you don't really have a relationship with the commissioner, you know. I think I shook his hand the night I was drafted. I'm not sure I've had any interaction with him in 8 years since. So, you know, that's just how it works. I mean, he's in New York, and his main concern is bettering the league from a business standpoint, and he's done an incredible job of that. But clearly he has, you know, the owners and the board of governors and all that stuff. Those are his kind of constituents, so to speak. So from a business standpoint, he's done a great job.
Can you talk about your clutch shooting tonight to bring out victory for the team?
Yeah, you know, I was listening to Doc a little bit when he was talking. And we had some slippage tonight, and you know, we did let our guard down. There was some execution errors, stuff that we haven't really done, and you know, specifically, you know, the turnovers. I don't think we screened well for a lot of the game. I don't think our timing was right on a lot of our plays. But we were still scoring, and we got kind of lulled in this false sense of security, and then they turned it on, and you know, we weren't ready for that. And so in the fourth quarter, I think we executed better. You know, we ran some good stuff. The play with me and Jamal up top, you know, we're just kind of playing basketball and reading things, and that got me open a couple times. It got them all loose, so that's been a good play for us.
Doc talked about the connection you and Jamal have on the court. Has that grown over the past couple of weeks, you think, or where does that come from?
Well, I think it's the first time we've been playing together. You know, early in the season, before Chris got hurt, before I got hurt, you know, there's a lot of splitting time, and maybe depending on the lineups down the stretch, you may play, you know, 4 or 5 minutes with a guy. And at that point, you know, Chris and Blake were pretty much, you know, controlling the ball in those scenarios. So it's been kind of out of necessity that we've played more together in the last few weeks since I've been back from my injury. It's been great, but it's been easy too. I mean, Jamal's a good player. He plays basketball. He makes basketball plays, and it's been easy.
When Chris comes back, how is this kind of stretch going to help you guys? And I guess the necessity of having to do it other ways.
Well, you know, I think that there's no way you would ever say it's a bad thing to find different ways to win. And when you get your guy back and you head towards the playoffs and you get into the playoffs, you know, wins are so important. And so if you can figure out ways now and in January when you're shorthanded or when you have off nights or when you're playing from behind like the Dallas game or when you're playing on the road like the Toronto game and you pull out victories, those are great building blocks.
How much value has he added on the bench for you guys?
Chris has been great. He's a basketball junkie. I'm shocked that he did not come immediately on the trip with us, but I guess they told him to stay back. So when he met us in Charlotte, you know, he just dug right in, and you know, he's vocal, he's knowledgeable. You know, he helps us within the game. It's great to have him there.
Coach talked about tomorrow night's game being basically the end of a 9-game trip for you.
Yeah.
guys. How do you see it in that way? And of all places at Golden State, you expect it to be 100% basketball or maybe a little hockey, or what do you think?
First of all, it does feel like we're on a nine-game trip, and this was the 8th stop. Not a lot of time between games. You know, frankly, in my experience in 8 years, I can't remember a time, you know, where you go on a 7-game trip and you play, you know, just a day later, basically, which we've done twice now. And we had the Spurs back in December. So it's the scheduling has been a little weird, at least in my experience. Tomorrow night's going to be a great environment. It'll be a great basketball game. I think two teams that play exciting basketball, and hopefully it's that. And hopefully it's an exciting basketball game. And you know, doesn't break out into any sort of shenanigans.
Can you talk about DeAndre's free throw shooting, you know?
Oh man, I was so proud of him. That was actually the first thing my wife texted me after the game, was tell DeAndre I'm proud of him.
He's got a nice form there going.
We've been saying that all year. You know, I think he can make them, and hopefully tonight is kind of a step in the right direction for him going forward.
All right, thanks, guys.